Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Shodo Super Biohunter Silva from Choudenshi Bioman. Continuing along the Shodo Super line, we started out with Sun Vulcan, then we had Go-Go 5 after that, and now for a little change of pace, we're actually getting one of the villains from the show before the actual core team itself. So there is a Shodo Super set for Bioman coming later this year, but we're starting out with one of the villains first, so that's kind of interesting. Normally I don't bother showing off the little brown mailer box that it comes in, but this one I just kind of thought was funny because I'm going to go ahead and open it up and you can see it's actually only half the box. This is just kind of, I guess, buffer area for the box. I don't really know why, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take the actual box out and we'll put this off to the side. So there he is, Biohunter Silva. Now, everywhere I looked has his name as Silva, S-I-L-V-A, but is it supposed to be Silver and we just call him Silva? I don't know. He is Silver, so there's that. So I'm going to call him Biohunter Silva, but I guess maybe you could call him Biohunter Silver if you so desire. But I think Silva is his actual name. But he looks pretty great. Not too much going on with the box. As you can see, a lot of warnings. And he does have a ton of accessories, which of course we will take a look at. So I'm going to go ahead, get him out of the box here, and we're going to take a closer look. He looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm happy to report that there are no stickers to apply. All of this is paint. Really, really nice, beautiful silver paint all over his body. You have some black and gold here for the emblems in the chest, and also some kind of gold like lining. The head sculpt looks great. Really nice red eyes. Really nicely detailed and painted. Again, that silver paint is just everywhere. He's got a little stand port here so you can peg him in. And you can see he has the empty holster. Now he does have the gun, and then he has the empty holster, but then he also has a holstered gun option. So you can just pop that off and peg this one in instead, which I appreciate. I think that looks really cool. He just looks really, really good. So articulation wise, he does have a ball joint at the base of the skull, so you can see he can kind of look up, can look down, obviously side to side, a little bit of head tilt side to side as well. Then he's got another ball joint at the base of the neck. So it actually moves at the base of the skull and the base of the neck, so you have a ton of articulation there. Ball joint in the shoulder here. Now he does have these giant shoulder pads, so they're going to limit a little bit, but you still get pretty good range of motion there. Bicep swivel, 90 degrees, actually a little over 90 degrees there in the elbow. Wrist can swivel side to side. You have a ton of hand options that we'll take a look at in a little bit. You have a ball joint here in the abdomen, but then there's also like a second ball joint at the actual waist. So you have a lot of nice movement there. Ball joint in the hip, thigh swivel, a little over 90 degrees there in the knee, and then you have a ball joint in the ankle. So a lot of nice movement there. So really great articulation. He just looks fantastic. He's just so beautifully painted. I mean, honestly, that's where a lot of the cost comes in, is just all the love they put into all the painting. He just looks really, really sharp. I like him quite a bit. Now, taking a look at those extra hand options, if I can get him to stand. Come on, stand for me. There we go. So here are all the hands you get. Now, as you can see, I have him with one, trigger finger hand and then one open hand. He's got additional trigger fingers for different angles. So you can see this is actually his left hand trigger finger with kind of a more straight, peg there. Then you have a left trigger finger with a kind of angled peg so that you can have him hold, his wrist differently with the gun. And then here's that same angle for the right hand. Here's an open right hand. He's got two fists, so those are closed fists. And then he's got like, I guess, karate chop hand. I don't really know what else to call that. But that's great. I mean, that's a really nice, that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of hands, which is absolutely fantastic. So I really appreciate that. And then the last accessories that he comes with, let me re-angle this here. You can see on the back of his forearms, he has these little pieces that you have to peg in. And you can actually pop these off, and it's a little bit easier said than done. But if you can actually pop this out, there we go. Come on now. There we go. Pop that one off. And then they are extended versions included. You go ahead and peg this in. If I can get this to actually peg in. There we go. And so I'm assuming these are supposed to be weapons kind of like tonfa or something like that because they extend backwards instead of forwards. I guess technically you could try to put them in the other way, but it doesn't really work. And also with the hand, it would probably only extend slightly past the hand. And again, I'm not familiar with the show. I've never seen Bioman. But I'm assuming that this is some kind of like, melee weapon just there on the back of his forearm, which is pretty cool. So you get one of those for each hand. Each arm, I should say, and then you get a small version for each arm. So you can have them both long, both short, mix and match, whatever you prefer, but that's just more options you get. Let me go ahead and pop this one back on. And they're not really difficult to get pegged in. It's just lining them up, and I'm just really bad at it. As you can plainly see. There we go. And once they're in there, I mean, they're snug. They're not falling out. Nothing's going on there. So, but yeah, he looks really sharp. Really, really nice. I absolutely love him. Really glad I decided to pick him up. Now he is about a 4-inch figure, and he was fairly pricey, I will admit. The problem is this was a Premium Bandai release, and when Premium Bandai does Shodo or Shodo single figures, you really feel it as far as the middleman fees and the shipping. If you're buying a set of like 5 figures, obviously those costs are spread out across 5 figures. So you're kind of, maybe $20, $25 a figure, something like that. But when this guy's on his own, it's more like $35, $40. I can't remember exactly what I paid for him, but he was a little pricey. But it's a beautiful figure, beautifully detailed, beautifully painted, beautifully articulated. A lot of nice accessories here. I'm really glad I decided to pick him up because he really, really does look nice. And he's going to look fantastic with the rest of the Bioman team once I get them, which I think is in the next month or two, something like that, I want to say. They'll be coming out. And also I need to get building my my Bioman mini plot because then I can put all this together and it's going to look absolutely fantastic. So I definitely recommend picking this guy up. At this point, your best bet is probably something like Mandarake, Yahoo Japan Auctions. And honestly, you might be able to get them a little cheaper in the aftermarket. It really just depends, where the desire's at, how sought after this guy becomes on the aftermarket. But depending on how many, become available, maybe you'll be able to get them a little bit cheaper. I feel like if you could get them for around 30, I think that's a great deal. And then it's really just up to you as far as what you want to pay for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.